this view, but I was in fact expecting this view.
Well, that would cost money.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, this is the picture of your new album 25.
Yeah.
So what's the reference between this picture and the content of the album?
Well, it's my greatest hits and some fan favourites, Rethunk. Mm-hmm. And that is a copy of Rodin, the Thinker.
Yeah. Was it time for you to rethink about your career?
Yeah. Metaphorically speaking, and physically speaking, it's time for me to rethink my whole me. Starting with these new versions of my album.
Yeah. What are the things you like to think most about?
I've said this loads before, but I really mean it. That the fact that this whole thing has happened to me is extraordinary. Mm-hmm. And whereas before it was confusing to the point of not believing that I deserved it, now I am confused still, but elated that I got to be so lucky.
Yeah. Okay. So this new album of yours, 25, with all your greatest hits of the past 25 years as a solo artist, with special attention to angels. Why is that? Because we re-recorded it.
I re-recorded it with an AI and Beethoven, the man himself, the original Elvis Presley.
I always tell our listeners that they should join you on your Instagram account, because I follow you and I see that you go live from time to time and talk to some fans and even call them. Why do you do that?
I haven't done that for a while.
Yeah, it's been some time, yeah.
While I did enjoy doing it, social media can take over your life. You know, it's, I'm too vulnerable and not mature enough to deal with the darkness that can descend upon you from negative entities.
Yeah.
It can engulf your very being. And, I spent a lot of time arguing with people or waiting to argue with people. And that's not the function of what it should be.
You were very open about your private life as well. When I saw these kind of interviews you were doing with fans, how did they react at home when you did that?
My wife is an open book too. We are both very similar when it comes to that sort of thing. What she reacts to is the headlines that they cause, and of course, the headlines are clickbait. So they'll be sensationalized. Yeah. So you'll read a headline and go, Boozy, you can't say da-da-da-da-da. And, well, I am going to. I have no filter. This is me. Yeah, but she's very similar to me.
Yeah. The most sad I saw you there was when it comes to football. Then you can be very sad.
I get invested. Especially in the national team, because the national team is very much the identity of who you are. Mm-hmm. We're not allowed to celebrate being English a lot. The only thing that you can celebrate is through the success of the national team.
Yeah.
And, if the national team fails, you feel like a failure.
Yeah. Okay. Especially when they play against the Red Devils, I can imagine, but okay. Talking about fans, do you have any connection with Belgium? I'm sure with the concerts and the fans here and chocolate and waffles, but do you have any other connection with our country?
Look, I have a connection with love, and I have a connection with spirit, and I have a connection with how people make me feel. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you, Germany, Munich, Berlin, Amsterdam, wherever I go, I haven't seen much of it, but I experience the spirit of its people. Yeah. And I will forever be grateful that I have an audience in Belgium and they want to come see me and they like what I do. So a part of my spirit will forever be Belgique.
België, yeah, okay.
België,
Belgium, yeah. Personally, I think you're one of the best performers in the whole wild world, and I
Who's
don't.
better?
Yeah, who's better?
Yeah.
No one. Let me say no one because I cannot think about anybody at this moment. But it seems like you don't have any limits. That there is no end of on your about your energy. Did you at any point have the feeling that no, this is too much? I'm ashamed of something I did on stage.
Yeah. I mean, I overshare. I overdo everything, but that is part of the intrigue. Is I never know what I'm going to do or say next, and I never know what I'm going to do or say that gets me cancelled or ruins my career, and that's like watching Evel Knievel. I think that lots of people don't come to see me complete the jump. I think some people come to see me to fall. There's a lot of jeopardy when I open my mouth.
So people around you are quite afraid when they see you perform or do an interview.
They sort of, they like the fact that anything can happen.
Maybe we can arrange for a live interview the next time, so I can give our listeners something to look forward to next time you're in Belgium, for instance.
Yeah.
So I hope to see you then again. I want to thank you a lot for this interview.